Hey everyone, welcome back to the video. We're going to do the next OC, Cayene my Pheonix, so let's get into it and bring her to life. Alright, for this video, we're doing another of my characters. So we have so far Celistin, Arlith, Siln, Myra, and Arlith. So now, today, we are going to be adding the last orange character. So the previous two were Kanan and Kana. We are now going to be adding on Cayene, who is a Pheonix. I am so excited because we're moving right along. That means we're almost done. So, because this has been a long time coming with these guys, I'm just looking forward to being done with this little project I have. So Cayene's colors are going to be the exact same as these two. Like, they share literally the same colors, so it's going to be mostly orange, then yellow, and then that brown, I guess tan, whatever you want to call it. It's just a lighter brown. So that's what we're going to be doing here. But for her, I didn't know what I want to do. I mean, I guess there is... I mean, this might look kind of nice to kind of have her... Oh, I guess that could work. Well, this might be what I'm doing. It's just having her kind of like flying upwards. Because I don't know how to describe... Cayene, she's kind of like... I don't want to say posh. I don't know why. Posh comes to mind. I don't know why. Proper, I guess. She's like very proper, I suppose. She's not super crazy. Because Kana is kind of the opposite. Kana's got a nasty personality. But Cayene is a little more chill. She's also like very caring as well. So I kind of just feel like having her go up is super nice. But now for the background, what do I want? That might be the question. Because I don't really know. So I don't know. Maybe I could put like a sideways tree here. I don't know about her like necessarily coming off. I mean, I guess she could be kind of coming off of it. Maybe that's what she's doing, but because I guess I could have her tail put behind the tree, I suppose. So maybe I could do that with the tree branches crossing or something. Now, I don't know how much size I'm gonna have because I've been doing like 3x4 pieces of paper, so I probably won't. I should not mark that. OMG. I might have like just a little bit of the tree showing, so we'll see. But at least just this to start, and then I don't know, maybe some like flowers or something kind of hanging. So we'll see. But that's kind of where we're gonna go. So she does have the stripes as well as the other two. So but she's gonna have the same patterning where she's got kind of the yellow underbelly and then so what I do for like her each feather is that each feather has its own ombre effect. So it's not just like this is gonna be like orange, yellow, and then brown. It's literally like 1 by 1 layer is what I tend to do for my birds when I do them. And I also give them like nice long head feathers as well. So they do like, this grouping has a very like fall kind of feeling, which I'm fine with. I think it's kind of nice. Because all my characters are purposely like with like a spring feeling, a fall feeling, summer feeling, and a winter one. Even though they're not directly a part of that. It's just kind of what I've done with them. I'll put her stripes on later. But for the trees, brown will be good. I could do like yellowy, maybe I could do like yellow grass or something. I think would be kind of nice just to break it up a little bit. Now for the leaves, do I want to keep this? Ooh, I could keep this like fall. Ooh. But I would need red for that. I do have the brown. Then I have orange. So, I mean, I don't know if I should because it would make her, it wouldn't work. But I wonder, so I could do like red, purple. I don't know what I want to do with this. I was gonna say like keep it fall, but I feel like she would blend in like way too much if I do that. It's not gonna look right. But I don't know how I want to do this. Maybe I could make blue leaves kind of hanging out here. Might be kind of interesting to do some blue instead of like green, just trying to change it up just a little bit. Because then I could do red. I mean, I could keep it kind of bare minimum like this. Alright, so then we have that, and then the background. Depending on what I do back here, I could keep it purple just because it's farther. So, because I know like the farther you go back, it like turns to, like stuff starts looking blue. So I could make it purple just to kind of help. So that might be somewhat interesting. How do I want to do that? I don't know if I'm, like, I kind of want to keep this almost too, I don't know, or if I should keep it like, because I could mostly do yellow on here and then add like a little bit of green for shading maybe. Just to kind of help break it up some. I think it would also help if I have that blue there. But just so it's not like directly green, but it's just like slightly different. And I could still do purple on these just to kind of tie the purple in somewhere a little bit. And then obviously having those. That might kind of work. And then I'll have to see how much room I have left because I might be able to add some more. But if I can kind of make like flower. I don't know, maybe something like that. I guess just so that way there's a little bit of color. I don't know if I'll stick to the red. I might not. I might end up changing it, but we'll have to see when I get there how I feel. I just feel like it would help just so it kind of breaks it up. So if I have like that green, because in the yellow on the yellow, you got brown on the brown, blue and the purple, because I'm going to probably put purple on the trunks as well, and then having that red will kind of help, I guess, break it up a little bit. Because the biggest thing is I just want to make sure that Cayenne is on the focus, right? Like she's not hidden. So scooch over so that way we can get her drawing going. So I always kind of start out with the border. I just like to have a border in there because I feel like it kind of helps. And that way I can kind of put the character. Sometimes I'm able to put like parts of the character like outside the border, which kind of helps bring them forward, and the background just stays within the border. Although sometimes it does make sense, I feel like, for the background to be outside the border, but I just don't want to do that. Right, so let's see. I also feel like Cayenne, like in general, is just kind of like a relatively like pretty bird, I suppose, because of her colors. because they're just like so nice and they just work. And like just being a bird in general too, because they kind of have that advantage. Okay, so there's not going to be a whole lot of tree, but that's fine because I'll still try and have like the branches crossed. And then down here we'll have some. So there's not going to be a whole lot of background, which I kind of figured just because I have her wings there. But when I get to actually like doing more of her drawing itself, I'll have to see because some stuff might change. This is kind of what we're starting with. So now we're going to move on over and to the actual drawing part. All right, so Cayenne is probably one of the more mature OCs. She's almost got like a motherly kind of feel to her. She's very caring and everything, and you know, she just wants to make sure everyone's okay. She's that kind of personality, which is not bad. It's pretty good considering how some of the other ones are. You know, you've got to have a mature one in there every now and then because most of them like to goof off and don't want to be responsible for anything, you know. You know how it goes sometimes. She, in a way, she's like an easy difficulty, I guess. It's just, I would say it's probably mostly the feathers and her wings, which are probably the most difficult. I guess also just a bird posture in general, but I don't follow a normal like bird posture. So when I do these kinds of birds, they actually walk on their wings, so like a wyvern would. Well, I guess some wyverns walk on their two back legs, but you know how you see the type that walks on all fours. So that's what she's able to do. So where I actually have some of these phoenixes is in my comic Shadows. They're familiar to the hunters pretty much, and to our main witch. She also has a bird. They kind of just like help and scope out pretty much. They're not necessarily like fighters on their own, but they're definitely like seekers and everything. So pretty fun. Again, her coloring, it's very fall and like very warm like, which she's based off of one of the OCs because I have like 4 color groups. So I have green, red, orange, and white, which are like the main colors. So she's part of the orange. So I have 3 in there. So I got 3 in each color category. So she's part of the myth group, which I have 4 in each. So I have 4 myths, 4 dinos, and like 4 normal animals. Again, it's all broken up. The background though, I don't know what I was doing with that. I really don't. And like with these colors, I have no idea. I was just trying to get to the fact that I wanted to have the background and the main character like separate colors. I wanted you to see the difference, I suppose, of them versus like me doing like very limited colors and you couldn't really see her at all. So I felt this was the better option to that versus doing something that was same. I could have done green like normal, but I have Kana, who is my raptor, and a little bit of Kanan, who's the dog. They both already have like green trees in their background because Kana is actually in a jungle scene. So she just has green around her. And then Kanan has a little bit of green with the grass and some trees. So I was like, it makes sense because this color combo with green, it looks good. But I was like, let's change it up a little bit. So I want to do something kind of weird. So that's why I did like blue leaves instead of like green and this like orangey pink trunk. I don't know. And I have this yellowy green grass. I don't know. I was just trying to make it a little bit different so that way she stood out some, but it wasn't kind of like a normal plain scene. So I was trying to like have a little bit of fun with it kind of. Now the lighting, I believe I was thinking of kind of like top down because she is underneath kind of trees in a way. So it kind of made sense for the lighting to be that way to me. Obviously, someone else could be a little bit different, but for me, that kind of made sense. So that's kind of where I was going. Doing her feathers, though, it's kind of interesting because I have them like layered. Not just as the feathers like in layers itself, but also like coloring it's layered. So it kind of makes it difficult sometimes to have, 6 or 9 layers. I think here I have 12 on that first part of her wing. The back wing maybe have 9. So it makes it difficult because it's like obviously the closer you get to her body, the shorter the wing is. So it just makes it difficult to color. Also to kind of copy that to the other side. makes it a little difficult to have both of them doing the same thing. Let me just put it that way. It's kind of interesting. I still made it work though, but it's still just like, what am I doing here? So I have to kind of do my best when I'm doing that to try and keep them somewhat similar. At least upon first glance, if you really look at it, they might end up looking a little bit different, but that's just the way that it is. I can't make it completely symmetrical on both sides since this is traditional. It's a little more difficult, and I'm kind of like more of like a first glance type of thing, you know? So if you just kind of look at it, yeah, they look symmetrical, which is fine. But it's like, I can't sit there and that's like perfection. It's like, it kind of makes it hard. So I just kind of have to do the basics of trying to kind of match it without it being super perfection. So it's just kind of a process, but overall still works out. Even here, like the colors look fine, I think, but it's the blue and the orange, which I suppose is fine. The blue and the yellow obviously work. And then having the red in there, just, I guess, adds a little bit more of a warm tone to it, like with the orange and the yellow. So, I don't know. It's kind of interesting color-wise. So, it's just, I think it's one of those things where it works and it doesn't. You know, but it's just like her colors, though, they just go so well together because they're literally just fall. And that was my intention because my characters are actually kind of based off the seasons a little bit, specifically color-wise. So, and like these three colors are very fall-like colors. So it actually works out really, really well. As weird as that is, but it does. So can't really complain about that. They're also just like very smooth, kind of whenever I go to blend them and stuff, which is nice. The biggest bane I have though is yellow. I do not like coloring yellow, funny enough, even though I have yellow in my character. I don't like it. It's just because of the colors I use. Like I haven't, so I use a cream, a canary yellow, or a lemon yellow, and then I'll use like a gold or a light umber depending on if I'm using the canary or the lemon. The lemon will get the light umber, which I found actually works really, really well because of my sunrise hippocampus I've done recently. I've kind of figured that out, and I was like, okay, this is super nice. And then I use the gold for the canary yellow because it's a little bit darker, which it kind of works, but it's like, to me, if I do too much indigo blue, it makes it look like it's dirty or something, to me anyway, so I'm just like, ugh. So it depends, but even doing her stripes, though, were kind of annoying, because I have to kind of cheat when I do the stripes with a marker. I'll just wait and just do the singular stripe whenever I've done, like, the shading on her, and then, but when I actually go back and do the pencil, then I'll do the whole, I'll do the regular coloring, because the stripes are there for a reason. They're just annoying to do. You know, I just like to make it difficult for myself, because why not? But this is pretty much the end. So I have done a whole bunch of other OCs if you want to see them. I do comics, I do paintings, I do a whole bunch of different things. If you're interested in seeing more from me, please stick around. But here she is all done. So turned out pretty well. Probably went a little overboard with her feathers, but it's wings. I kind of enjoy drawing wings, but bird wings are definitely something else with all the feathering. But she still turned out pretty good, and I probably went a little overboard with the digital shading, but meh. It still kind of makes it work. But with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye!